Hi, everybody. Brooke here. We're getting ready for a 30-minute beginner's Pilates session just now. I'm not going to use any equipment today. Keep it really simple. Listen to your body while you're doing this workout, especially anyone who's holding an injury or anything like that. Just really take little breaks when you need to. If things start to get into your lower back or into the back of your neck, or if you feel pain that doesn't feel like normal muscle, take a little break and just sit back and dial it back a little bit. But, we won't be pushing it too hard today. We'll get some lovely stretching in through the hamstrings and through your upper back. Should feel good. So let's get started. So we're going to start standing up, coming to the end of your mat. Have a little look at your feet. Toes and heels in a line, feet about hip width apart. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms overhead. And as you breathe out, come up onto your toes, finding your balance, drawing the abdominals in, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. And reach your arms out to the side, drop your heels down to the mat, drop your chin to your chest, round your spine, and roll yourself all the way down. Just hanging down over your legs. Just hold there for a moment. Nod your head yes, and then shake the head no. Good. Bend your knees, scoop the abdominals in, slowly roll yourself back up to standing, just restacking one vertebra on top of the other. Shoulders come on top of the ribs, head then on top of the shoulders. One more big breath in, reaching your arms overhead. And as you breathe out, float up onto your toes. Again, relax the shoulders away from the ears, draw the abdominals in, and reach your arms out to the side as you lower your heels down. Now this time I'm going to lace the fingers together behind the back, lift the arms, lift your chest, lift to the ceiling, and then breathe out with your legs straight, with your back straight. Just hinge yourself forward, letting the arms drop it down away from the body. Hold there for a big breath in, and then as you breathe out, drop your hands back down to the mat, bend the knees. Get your hands close to the mat, walk forward, coming out into your plank. So I want you to have your shoulders right over your hands, lift your head up. Now I'm going to breathe in and lower both knees down to the mat. Drop your hips a little lower. Now breathe out, lift your left knee up. Inhale, drop the left knee down and lift the right knee up. Inhale, lower. Left knee, try to keep the hips forward. Keep your shoulders over your hands. Stay here for 4 more. Find the abdominals really tightening with each lift of the knee. Just feel those muscles starting to warm up. Last 2 and down. 1. Now both knees come down. I'm going to breathe out, lift the knees up. Inhale, lower both knees down. Breathe out, lift both knees up. Inhale, down. Last 2, lift and lower. And then hold the last one up. Lift your hips nice and high. Press into your heels. Hold your stretch here for a big inhale. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine. Drop your chin to your chest. Roll yourself all the way up. Just restacking your spine. Shoulders and head come up last. Now you're going to reach your arms out in front of you, leading with your thumbs. And then flip your palms as the arms reach behind you. Just open up the chest until the hands come back down to the sides. Now we're going to turn the palms out. Leave the thumbs against the arms, reach behind you. And then reach the hands together as they come down to your sides in front. One more time, drop your chin to your chest, rounding the spine, rolling down over your legs, scooping the abdominals in. I want you just to swing the torso left and right. Just a little swaying side to side. Loosening up your lower back. And then come back to the center. Bend your right knee, keep your left leg straight. And then lift your chest, switch the legs. Left knee bends with the right leg straight. Little lift as you change sides, bending the right knee. Lift the chest, bend the left. And then lift the chest, bend both knees. Get your hands to the mat, breathing out. Walk forward one more time. Good. And then just hold your plank. Now again, I want you to drop your knees down to the mat. This time we're going to lift the toes up and really drop the hips forward. Maybe even just stepping your knees a little bit further back so you can get the hips a little lower. Now bend your elbows, come to a half push-up. Breathe out, press the mat away. Inhale, lower the chest down. Pull your elbows tight to the sides of the rib cage. So don't let them roll out to the sides of the rib. Just sliding the elbows along the sides of the ribs. Exhale, press the mat away. Let's stay here for 2 and lift. Last 1. Straighten up the arms and sit back onto your heels. Stretch your arms, stretch out your lower back. And then I want you to come all the way forward into a low plank. So we're going to drop down to the elbows, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up and hold here. Lift your head, squeeze the glutes, slide the shoulders down the back. And then we're just going to take one knee out to the side, come back to the center, other knee out to the side. Now if this feels too strong, just hold your low plank. But if you feel like you can add that movement, just turning the knees out, just get the hips warming up. Adds a little more challenge. Stay here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now drop the knees down, sit back onto your heels. One more stretch before we flip over onto our back, just sitting back into a child pose. Good. Now change positions, coming down onto your back. Good. So we're in a neutral spine, so we have a little bit of space under your lower back. I want you to button your ribs down towards the mat. Touch just inside your hip bones and try to draw your lower abdominals in tight, almost like you're trying to pull your hip bones together. So imagine your belly button just drawing in towards the spine, and then lift your right knee up. Hold it there. Take a little sip of breath and then breathe out. Lift your left knee up and hold. Make sure that you still have that little space under the lower back. And we're going to lift the head, lift the shoulders, reach your hands to the wall in front of you and start pumping the arms. Breathing in for 4 beats. Breathe, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. So look down towards the abdominals. Slide the ribs towards your hips. Scoop the belly button in tight. And keep breathing. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. Squeeze the knees and feet together. Get the inner thighs really working in tight. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. 2 more breaths. You can get the shoulders any higher. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Breathing in for 4 beats. Then breathe out for 4. Great. Take the shoulders back. Draw your knees into your chest, imprinting the lower back down into the mat. And then hug your right knee and extend your left leg long. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, reach your nose towards your knee. The lower back is still imprinting into your spine, and switch the legs. Strong exhale with each knee pull. Stay here for 8 and 7. If your head starts to get a little heavy, if you feel any strain through the neck, take your head back down to the mat. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now drop the head down, pull both knees in, take your hands behind the head. We're going to breathe out, lift the head, lift the shoulders, and stretch your legs long. Inhale, drop the shoulders, bend the knees. Exhale again, shoulders high, legs long, just extending the legs, scooping the lower abdominals in. Inhale back. Now if you need to modify that, if that feels a bit strong, just slide one leg out, keep the other knee bent. Inhale back, then change legs. Extend the other leg out. Inhale back. So feel free to keep alternating those legs or doing both legs. Whichever way you're doing it, let's aim for 4 more. Shoulders up, legs long. Inhale back. And 3. Last 2. Lift and lower. One last time. Holding there for 3, 2, 1. Now drop the shoulders, head down to the mat, knees into your chest. And I want you to take your feet down to the mat. Take your arms off the edges of the mat, arms a little bit wide of the sides of your mat. I'm going to drop both knees down to the right. As you turn your head to the left, feet stay stuck to the mat. Breathe out as you take the knees back to your center line. Breathe in, drop the knees down to the left as you turn your head to the right. Breathe out, narrowing the waist, knees come back to the center. One more time each way, just feeling a nice twist, nice stretch through your lower back. Come back to that center point and then switch. And center. Good. Now we're going to lift the knees back up to tabletop. And I want you to take your hands and just rest them across the sides of the waist. Draw the belly button in. Give me a big pelvic floor lift. So really lifting the perineum. Keep the ribs down, and we're going to lower your right toe down to the mat. Hold it there. Imagine you're touching water. Now lower your left toe down to the mat. Hold. Keep your hands resting across your abdominals. Breathe out. Lift your right knee up. Hold. A little sip of breath and then exhale. Lift your left knee up and hold. We're going to do that 2 more times. Right toe comes down to touch. Just freeze and hold. Left toe follows. Keep your spine in neutral. Little gap under the lower back. Lift the right knee. Lift the left knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed. One more time. Right toe comes down to the mat. Left toe follows. Then we lift the right knee. Lift the left knee. Now bend your ankles. Just come into a flexed foot. So pull your toes in towards your body. And then lower your left heel down. So the heel touches the mat. Hold it there. Maintain that neutral. Ribs down, but little gap under the lower back. Lower the right heel down. Lift your left knee. Lift your right knee. 2 more times each way. Left heel comes down. Right heel follows. Left knee goes up. Think rib to hip connection. Right knee up. Last one. Left heel comes down to the mat. Right heel follows. We lift the left knee. We lift the right and then hold. Now lift your fingertips over your shoulders, pointing right up to the ceiling. Point your toes, extend your right arm and your left leg. This time the leg extends to the wall in front of you. Keep the rib cage down, but maintain that little gap under the lower back. Switch sides, left arm, right knee. right leg. Inhale back to the center. Again, fingertips reaching to the wall behind you, toe reaching to the wall in front, extending that leg out, breathing out as you reach. Breathe in as you come back into what I call the dead bug position. 4 more, stretch and center. Keep the core strong. 3 and back. Last 2 and back. 1 more, extend the arm and leg, and then just hug your knees into your chest. A little bit of movement side to side. Just rocking out any tension through the lower back. Now keep your knees in, lift your head, lift your shoulders, scoop the belly button in. A lower back is imprinted into the mat. We're going to stretch both arms and legs nice and long, chin to chest. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, reach. And tuck. Stay here for 4 and 3. Last 2. And hold the last one. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then drop the head and shoulders, draw your knees in, hold the backs of the legs, and I want you to lift the toes up to the ceiling. Just get a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Move your feet around, circling your ankles both directions. Point the toes, lift your head, lift your shoulders, lower back presses into the mat, hold the right leg as the left leg drops. Pull, pull, switch the legs. Feel a nice stretch through the hamstring. Now, if you struggle with that to get the legs straight, it's okay. The knees can be a little bit bent, so this is also totally acceptable. But we're working towards straight legs. We want to be stretching as well as strengthening, lengthening and strengthening. Stay here for 4. The head starts to get heavy. Just drop the head down to the mat. Last 2 and 1. Now drop the shoulders, pull your knees in. Just a quick recovery. We're going to do 1 more set, a little bit shorter, but toes up to the ceiling. This time we're going to flex your feet, so pull your toes in. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. This will get a little bit more into your hamstring stretch. Hold the right leg as your left leg drops. Do our double pulse, left leg pulse, pulse, switch. So little double exhale. Each time you pull that leg, stay there for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Great. Shoulders down, knees in, big breath. Chin to chest, and then roll yourself all the way up to sitting. All right, we're going to come onto our side now, and I want you to take your elbow down to the mat and bend the knee of your lower leg. Top leg is straight. Wrap your hand around the middle, so this is going to work into the obliques. It's going to work your shoulder a little bit. I'm going to breathe out, lift the hips high. Inhale, lower them back down. So imagine a string, just pulling this hip up. Use that hand just to really engage that lower oblique, the lower part of the waist. Stay there for 4. Press into your fist, press into your elbow, press into your knee and your foot. Everything that's touching the mat is pressing that mat away. Last 2. I'm going to hold the last one up and reach your arm overhead. Really stretch that arm up to the ear. Inhale, lower the hips, lower the hand. Exhale, lift and lower. Now think about your waist. Imagine your abdominals like a bellows, so that as you exhale, we narrow the waist. You're going to pull everything in as the air escapes you. Inhale down. We'll kind of force you to engage those core muscles that we want to be working, squeezing everything in tight. Exhaling. Hold the last one up. And then lift that hand up to the ceiling. Just tuck the hand through the body for 4 and lift. 3, really open. Imagine that hand pulling to the wall behind you. Last 2. Try to keep your shoulder right over that elbow. Make a little correction if that elbow's kind of creeping away from you. Last 1, down, up, and then lower the hips down to the mat. Just slide that bottom knee a little further forward. Drop the back knee, and then reach your arm up over your head. Good. We're going to do the same on the other side. So just spin yourself around. Come onto your elbow, make a fist with your hand, elbows right under the shoulder, bend the knee of that lower leg, knee comes slightly forward. We're going to wrap the hand around the waist, breathe out, lift the hips up, breathe in, lower them back down. Now you just squeeze your glutes here a little, let's squeeze the bum, zip the core in tight, inhale down. Stay there for 6. Again, think about the bellows, so feel the waist tightening, just narrowing with each lift, each time you exhale. Last 2. Next one, we're going to add the arm all the way up to that ear. Lift the hips high, squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. Inhale, lower the hip down to the mat. Exhale, lift all the way up. Inhale, lower. Make sure that shoulder is still over your elbow. Stay there for 3. Hips are stacked, so we're not kind of letting that top hip roll back or forward. Last one, hold it up, hand reaches right up to the ceiling, tuck the hand through the body, and lift it up, almost pulling back, tuck through, and then press into that knee, press into the foot, press into your elbow and the fist. Everything touching the mat is pressing the mat away. Last two, and lift. One, lift and hold, and then gently, slowly lower your hips down. Take your bottom knee forward, bend the top knee, reach the arm up overhead with a big stretch. Good. Okay, we're gonna roll onto your back and take your feet about hip width apart. So there's a little space between your knees. I'm gonna press your lower back down into the mat. Take your hands to your lower abdominals. Really scoop and hollow. Lift your pelvic floor. So imagine the ice cream scoopers just really carved everything out here. Take a deep breath in. Open the sides of your ribcage out like an umbrella. And then as you close your umbrella, scoop the belly button a little tighter. Lift the pelvic floor a little higher. Good. One more inhale to hold. Think umbrella breath, opening the ribcage out. And then as you exhale, press the lower back down into the mat. Big pelvic floor lift. Just engaging those deep abdominals. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, hands along your side, start peeling your spine up off the mat, one vertebra at a time. Good. Walk your hands a little closer towards your feet. And then put your weight into your left foot and lift your right knee up. Keep the knee bent. Breathe in, drop the hips down. Breathe out, lift them up. Inhale and exhale. We're pressing into our left heel. Maybe even try to slightly lift the toes on that left foot. So you're just balancing on the heel as you go up and down for 5 and 4. If you want to modify it, just drop the foot back down, those toes back down. Last 2. Hold the last one up. Now drop your right foot. Lift the hips a little higher. Transfer the weight from the left foot to the right. Lift your left knee up. Go down and up. Again, let's try to lift those toes on the right foot so you're just balancing on the heel. That will activate your glute muscle a little bit more than your hamstring, which is what we want to really focus on here is the glute, not just the hamstring. Let's stay here for 5. Exhale with the lift. Inhale to lower. 4, 3, last 2. Hold the last one up. Now drop the left foot down. Take your toes down so your feet are flat. Lift the hips a little higher. Narrow the waist. So think about your waistband. Imagine you're trying to lift that waistband just with the muscles of your abdominals, just pulling everything in and up. Drop both hips down now. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Stay there for 6. Big squeeze the glutes. Try to get the hips higher than that line that runs between your knees and your shoulders. Stay there for 4 and 3, 2. Hold the last one up. Breathe in. Send your arms all the way to the wall behind you. Stretch those fingertips a little longer. And then keep your hips high. Just drop your rib cage down first. Really tilt the pelvis to get through the middle back. And then one vertebra at a time. Come down through that lower back until your hip bones and tailbone are down. Then breathe in. Take the hands back to your sides. Good. Now with your next exhale, we're going to come back up into a shoulder bridge. You're going to breathe out again, imprint the lower back. Breathe in into the sides of the ribcage. Think about that umbrella breath. This time with your exhale, we're peeling straight up, one vertebra at a time, peeling up off that mat. Once the hips are high, think about your ribs. Try to button your ribs a little closer towards your hips. Pull your knees in a little tighter. Press into your hands. And then we're going to lift that right knee up. Touch the toe to the inside of your left knee. Really pull that right knee into your chest. Maybe you can take your hands and hug it in tight. And then lift that foot up to the ceiling. Hands come back down to the mat. And then draw some small circles with that right leg. Now, if you need to modify this, you can either have the knee bent and just kind of circle from the hip, circle from the knee, or you can drop your hips down. Any pressure or pain through the lower back, keep the hips on the mat. Hold the next one, reverse your circles. Let's aim for 8 the other way. So this is our beginner level, a little more advanced, with the hips up or with the knee soft. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the right foot down to the mat, lift the hips a touch higher, zip the core a little more, and then send your left knee up. So knee comes into the chest, toe touches the inside of that right knee. Let's take your hands, just hug it in quickly, and then extend that leg up to the ceiling, working towards a long straight leg, adding our small circles. Staying here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift everything a little high, reverse your circles. So again, we're working towards a straight leg, but again, feel free if you want to modify it to keep the knee bent or drop your hips down to the mat. Let's aim for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the left foot down, lift your hips a little higher, and pull your knees a little tighter.
Breathe in, reach the arms all the way behind you, and then breathe out, melt your spine back down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Good. Take your hands back to your sides. Now we're going to lift the head, lift the shoulders, just come and curl up, press your lower back down into the mat, draw the belly button in, and then reach your right hand, touch your right ankle, the outside of that ankle, and then left hand to left ankle, just kind of shifting those shoulders left and right. Stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the shoulders back, take the hands behind the head. You're going to breathe out, imprint your lower back into the mat, just tilt the pelvis, scoop the abdominals in, think ice cream scooper, carving everything out. Then reach your right hand across your left knee, inhale back down, left hand across to the right knee, inhale down. Try to touch that knee, reach a little long, and then back. Again, reach that knee, reach a little further with each one. So we touch, reach, and then back. Touch, reach, and back. 4 more, and back, and 3, reach, and back. Really getting to the top of that knee. Last one, lift and lower. Good, now just hug your knees into your chest. Take your hands behind the knees, draw your chin in. We're gonna roll up to sitting and try to balance here. So lift your feet, draw your knees into the chest, elbows wide, scoop the abdominals in. Now take your hands away, and we're just gonna come down an inch, and then pull back up, lower, and lift. Modifications. Keep your hands at the backs of the knees, just extend the arms, and then bend the elbows, pulling the chest towards the knees. If you want to advance it, we just go a little lower, low to high. Either way, stay there, 6, and 5. Again, remember your beginner, 4, 3, last 2, hold the last one, knees into the chest, click the shoulders back, lift your chin up, and then try to extend your leg. Get a nice stretch the back legs, bend the knees. Again, extend the legs, and exhale, bend your knees. Last time, extend the legs, hold. Take your right hand away, so you can take the left hand away, hold that perfect teaser, and then slowly lower your feet down to the mat. Reach forward, just over the legs, grab your feet, grab your ankles, wherever you can reach, and really draw your chest down close to those legs. Now breathe in, just straighten up your spine. Take your left foot and cross it over the right leg. Take your right arm around and turn towards that knee. Just lengthening the spine as you twist. Okay, come back to the center, uncross your left leg, cross your right leg over the left. Wrap your left arm around the right knee. And then the right hand goes behind. Breathe in, grow a little taller. Breathe out, twist a little further. Good. Now we're going to come down onto your front. And we're going to stack your hands one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Draw your belly button up away from the mat. Lift your pelvic floor and then lift your head. Lift your chest. Keep the hands stuck to the forehead. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Let's stay here for 6 and 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and we're gonna hold the last one up again. Gather the belly button up and away. Inhale, lower it back down. Now we're gonna zip your heels together. So touch your heels, squeeze the inner thighs, turn your toes out. So the legs are a bit like a mermaid tail. So no daylight between the legs, everything zip tight. Toes turned out, heels together. Exhale, lift the chest, lift the legs. Stay there for 6, 5, up and down, nice and slow. 4, reaching from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Last 2, and hold the last one up. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the chest, lower the feet. Now reach your hands out to the corners of the mat. Step your feet a little wider, so they're also pointing to the corners of the mat. Turn your thumbs up to the ceiling and drag the pinkies in as you lift your chest up. Slide the arms back away. Exhale, drag the pinkies in, lift and lengthen the spine. Inhale, slide the pinkies away. 2 more like this. Pulling those arms in and sliding them out. Last one, dragging everything in, reaching it out, and then sweep your arms around your side. Lace the fingers together behind the back. Lift the arms, lift the chest. Inhale, lower back down. I'm going to walk your feet in a little closer together. I'm going to lift the legs up as well as the chest. Inhale, drop it back down. Release the hands. Hands come down to your sides. Chest up, hands together, lift and lengthen, just reaching, looking down to the mat, reaching from the top of the head to the tips of your toes. Inhale, drop it all the way back down. 3 more here, chest up, hands together. Lift the legs, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale down. And last one, chest up, hands together. Lift the legs, hold for 3, 2, and 1. And then completely relax your upper body. I want you to rest your head, rest your chin on your hands. Take your knees to the edges of the mat and draw your heels together. So your legs are like frog legs. Toes turned out, feet flexed. Scoop your belly button up and away. Tilt the pelvis so the pubic bone is a little heavier than your hip bones. And then lift the knees up off the mat. Squeeze your heels tight. Inhale, lower. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep your upper body relaxed. Let's stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Again, heels tight. Your knees don't need to come up quite as high as mine if they don't, as long as you're activating those muscles. Last one, I want you to hold the knees up as much as you can and then extend the legs out. Keep the legs hovering up off the mat. Keep the knees up. Bend the knees. Heels come back together. Extend the legs and then bend the knees. Stay there for 4 and 3. Good. Squeezing the glutes, working to the glutes in your lower back 2. Last one, extend and bend and drop the knees, hands under your shoulders. Sit back onto your heels, stretch out your back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Now hinge yourself forward. I want you to touch your toes together behind your back. Drop your hips low. Try to round out your lower back. Zip the core in tight and angle your fingers slightly in towards each other. We're going to lower the chest down to the mat. Breathe out, press the mat away. Have your ears, shoulders, and hips all in one line. As you lower and lift, shoulders stay away from the ears, nice long neck. 3 more. And 2, lift. Last one. Up and hold. Stay there for 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to come halfway down and hold. Go a little lower and hold. And then go as low as you can, holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten up the arms. Check the shoulders are away from the ears. Tilt the pelvis again. Round out your lower back. Come halfway down. Hold. A little lower. Hold. And then as low as you can for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And sit back onto your heels to stretch your arms out. Big cleansing breath. Let it go. And then change positions. Coming back to sitting. I want your fingertips to be pointing in towards your hips, hands directly beneath your shoulders. Knees are hip width apart. Just bend your elbows, wrap them in towards each other, and then extend. Bend and extend. Stay here for 4, 3, last 2. 1 more. Let's extend and hold. Now we lift your hips up. Keep the hips high. We're going to bend and extend for 6, 5. So working to the triceps, backs of the arms. 3, 2, and 1. Then drop the hips back down again with the hips down for 6, 5, 4, 3. Really get that squeeze at the top. Last one, extend the arms and then lift your hips up. Just hold there. Now just drop the hips down and lift. Breathe in and out for 4, 3. Right up to that tabletop position. 2. Last one, up and hold. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the hips down to the mat. Extend your legs out. Point your toes, squeeze the legs together. Now we're going to try to lift the hips up in more of a plank pose. Inhale, lower the hips back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. If this feels too strong, go back to what we were doing before with the knees bent. Just lift up from here. Otherwise, aim for just 2 more. Hips high, hold, and down. Last one, hips up and hold. Inhale, back. Now just reach over your legs. Wrap your hands around the ankles. Drop your chin to your chest. Right ear to right shoulder, left ear reaching to your left shoulder. Sit up nice and tall. Just roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward. Lift your arms up over your head. Bend your right elbow. Pull that elbow in with your left hand. Lift your chin up. Take a big breath in and exhale. Let it go. And left elbow is pulled in with that right hand. Again, inhale and exhale. Let it go. Good, and just flip yourself back to all 4s. I'm going to do one more quick twist. I just want you to slide your right hand through the body. Keep your hips above the knees. Press into the back of that arm. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the ceiling. And then take the left hand down, that top hand down, right arm comes back through the body, fingertips up. And down, and we're gonna cross the left arm through the body, just sliding it across the mat. Head and shoulders are down, hips above the knees. Inhale, lift the right arm up. And then as you breathe out, drop that top hand down to the mat. Left hand comes back through, fingertips up to the ceiling mat, and somebody pulling that hand to the wall behind you. And then take the hand back down to the mat. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, tuck your toes under. I want you to hover your knees an inch or so up off the mat, not too high. Really scoop the abdominals, lift your pelvic floor. Inhale, drop the knees back down to the mat. Exhale, hollowing the abdominals, just hover the knees up, hold there for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale down. Last one, again, lift the knees, just hold them close to the floor, but not touching. Stay there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift the knees all the way up. Press into your heels. Lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. Really press the mat away with those hands. Walk your hands back to your feet. Let your head hang. Wrap around the backs of the ankles, nod the head. Shake it side to side. Soften your knees, scoop the abdominals, slowly start rolling yourself back up to standing, letting the arms hang down, and then rolling your shoulders on top of the ribs, clip your head on top of the shoulders, float your arms up over your head, and breathe out, coming up into a balance, holding. Good, lower your heels and just swing the arms out. Give yourselves a little round of applause. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you feel nice and stretched out. Everything kind of toned and strengthened as well. We're back again tomorrow morning, so make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and Instagram and Facebook so you can keep up to date with all of our schedule. Thanks.